sometimes your season be so jacked up, it don't be hardly nobody left. I was like, yeah, man, that'd be a great idea. I'm gonna try that. Do you know that same day I had a dream that very night, and basically was like, if you do that, it's gonna crumble. And I was like, well, golly.
If things are going good, you're not necessarily vulnerable.
Right.
Like,
you're most vulnerable
when you down bad.
You broken somebody, like, listen, if you come with me, we could go hit ya, and we can make some shake. You would have never done that before.
Never.
But you start to think, carry the 2, add the 1, my rent is due.
No, carry the 2, add the 1, my rent was due on the 1st. It's the 2nd, now tomorrow is the 3rd.
And I gotta think about it. But if you can't even pass the test, how you gonna survive at the next level? You're not gonna make it. That's when it's hard. When you're in them hard seasons and those options are there, those friendships become hugely important.
Now y'all know anybody can call you a friend, but not everybody shows up. So if you're down with the fake connection, Friendship University is the place to be, to learn, to grow, to laugh and build your community. Don't wait another minute, we're about to start. Don't listen, dance, listen, cause we're coming from the heart. Grab a break, grab a pen, cause we're back again. With the laugh and the lesson, sit down cause class is in session.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the
Friendship University Podcast.
I'm Kristen.
And I'm Tara.
And we're so glad, we're happy to have you again.
Period. Okay.
Welcome back to our listeners. And if you're new here, all claps around. Thank you so much for taking the time to head over to our channel and tune in for what we have in store for you today. Loving the green and
I know yellow. Yellow's my
black and yellow. Yes, y'all. We're about to head into Friendship Court, so we will see you over there. All right, welcome back, you all. We are now in Friendship Court with the Honorable Judge Tara presiding. How are you today, Judge?
I'm ready to judge.
You're ready to judge? Well, let's get to judging then.
All right.
Today we have on the docket the plaintiff Tyler versus Max, the defendant, in the charge of unfair request.
Is Tyler back?
No, this is not the same Tyler.
Okay. We told him we didn't want to see him back in court again.
I had to think about it, Tyler. This better not be you.
That same Tyler. Okay.
Come on now.
All right.
We told you we didn't want to see you back here again. Don't make her throw the book at you.
The book.
Okay. The plaintiff, Tyler, has been training for this big city marathon for months. It's been on their bucket list forever, and they finally felt ready to take it on. The defendant, their best friend Max, decided he would run it with them. They were both super hype, planning their training schedules, diets, the whole 9 yards. They even signed up together, and it was great having that mutual goal. Recently, the defendant injured his ankle during a training run. Nothing too serious, but enough that he won't be able to participate in the marathon. He asked the plaintiff if he was still planning on running without him, and he told him yes. To the plaintiff's surprise, the defendant said, "Oh, so you're just going to leave me behind then?" Since the conversation, the defendant has been kind of cold, and their partner is even messaging saying the plaintiff should reconsider running another race later in the year because it's unfair to still go ahead with it when the defendant can't. The plaintiff feels torn because of all of the effort they've put in, but at the same time, not wanting to make the defendant feel as though he's abandoning him. After the plaintiff offered to help the defendant with his recovery and even find a new race for them to target, the defendant flat out said, "You're really going to choose this race over our friendship." The plaintiff wants to know, is the defendant guilty of an unfair request to give up on something that they've worked so hard for?
Wow, that's a doozy. I would have to think long and hard about this. I really have to speak up because I know that sometimes we want to be there for our friends and we want to show them that we care. But quitting and going back on your word to yourself is not accomplishing that. And so I really have to say that the defendant is asking some unfair things from his friend. And I will have to just, this case is going to go by quick, but I'm going to find the defendant guilty as charged for asking for his friend to quit his race, something that he has been working on for months. And that just isn't a fair thing to ask. And if you really love and care for your friend, you're going to want to see your friend do well, even if it's not with you. And so in that, I'm sentencing the defendant to do some self-reflection and think about what showing love to his friend looks like, and not making everything about him, even though he's going through a tough time. And showing up for friends absolutely means thinking what's best for the other person. Also, I am sentencing him to watch this episode of Enduring Well, where he will get some feedback on how to move forward as a better friend. And we don't want to see you back in friendship court again. Just remember that being a friend is not just about you. So court is adjourned. Now it's time to take out the trash, take out the trash, take out the trash right now. Take out the trash, take out the trash. Take out the trash. It started stinking, it's time to take it out, take it out. Take out the trash. Take out the trash right now.
This is the part of class where we go through real life practical things we've done to clean up the mess in our own lives. This week, I would like to talk about a book that I just recently read, and actually I need to keep it 100. I haven't yet finished it, but I'm very close to finishing it. I'm probably less than 40 pages out. But I read the book Successful Failure by Kev on Stage, New York Times best-selling book. It is more so or less a compilation of all of the things that you would consider like failures that actually propelled him into the success that he is now experiencing. So really funny book.
For those who don't know who Kevin Stage is.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I can give a little breakdown. Kevin Stage is a comedian. He also is a writer and overall like has a production company. And so you can Google him and find him. Man of faith. And he has several books. He has this book. He has another book with his wife where he talks about marriage and different things like that. He's a creative that I have paid attention to. I really appreciate his journey. I feel like in some aspects he is somewhat of a trailblazer. Like he is really doing some things that have never been done before and really like taking a path toward Hollywood that just really didn't exist before. Like opening his own doors and just doing a lot. And with that, you can imagine a lot of failures, a lot of a lot of life lessons, a lot of times where he fell flat on his face, literally and figuratively, if you would like to read the book and figure that out. But there are a few things that I noted from the book that I have found super like inspiring and helpful, and just like really have I've been able to think about how I can apply this on my own journey towards, trying to, we're here building this podcast and teach you all how to be friends. And we have the songbird, as you can see, she likes to get carried away every week. But, we're full of gifts that we, want to leave empty when we leave this world. So some notable things that I think he talked about in the book. One thing that he says, and this is like towards the beginning of it, in that first like 30 pages, he makes it a point to say that you need to adapt to adversity because failure isn't the end, but neither is success.
So good.
So it's like, you think you get into this pinnacle and success can keep going and going and going and going and going. Like failure is not the last point and neither is what you could consider success to be. he also talks about, like not having aimless ambition. Like you don't have to be a huge success or even the best at something to enjoy it or to feel badly to understand it may be better as a hobby or side hustle, not your day job.
Wow.
So there are some things that he tried in the book and he was like, maybe this is not what I need to be doing, even though I may enjoy it and I potentially am good at it, but it's
Right.
not what I'm supposed to be focusing my time on.
Right.
So a couple of other things to note that he talks about that he's been talking about in the book. There's a reoccurring theme, obviously, here, like, the failures you're going to learn from it and different things like that. He does talk about how his friends play a role in where he is today.
Oh, wow.
And noting that sometimes with friends, you gotta go to battle for them first and correct them after the smoke clears.
Oh, wow.
So, you gotta like put up a united front.
Yeah.
Essentially.
I get that.
And then behind the closed doors, all right, now you know that was not what was supposed to be happening. Another couple of things that he noted and has said is, I have a lot of notes here, y'all. He said that defeat can hurt and it can even make you want to quit. But the love you have for what you're doing has to be stronger than the pain of failing. So I think for me and for us as believers, I put most of my stock in what I'm doing, even though I do enjoy it, it's to the glory of God. It's like, I love God. So, I'm going to do this and I'm, going to put my all into it. And so for me, that is greater than that kind of like fear of failure or even like failing and having to get back up again and do it, over again. And he goes on to say that it's okay to have things that worked at the time, essentially, but as you grow, you may outgrow them.
Right.
So, like as a comedian, he talks about there's a particular joke that he used to do when he was first in stand-up comedy, and it was like a banger. Like every time he said it, it's funniest joke ever known to man. It ain't failed yet, but as he grew, as he started to pivot, and even as he started to grow as a man, as a father, it just didn't align with his values anymore. And it felt artificial for him to, just because it was working, to continue to put it into his act.
Wow, that's good.
So, and then there's a story that he talks about in particular, and this makes me think about how the Bible talks about your gift will make room for you. Essentially, he gets put in front of this really prominent producer and like really respected person in Hollywood to pitch something. And because he was a lover of his craft and a student, he wasn't a success at the pitch itself, but they were so thoroughly impressed with his knowledge of just the craft itself that it literally opened the first door he needed to get to where he is today. Like it led him down a completely different path of getting, you know what I'm saying, this like role that on paper didn't make any sense. Like you have no background in it. It's like you get hired as an aerospace engineer and you have no background in aerospace whatsoever, but because you've proven that you can do it, So there was that, and then there was one other quote in here that I'm trying to find. Oh, yes. And just really quickly going back to the point of it made me think about Proverbs 18 and 16. Like, your gift will make room for you and put you before important people. But how will you show them you're exceptional when you're there? Because he essentially showed, even though, this person probably gets pitched a lot of things every single day, and you may be great. You may be a great singer. You may be a great writer. How are you going to show that you are the one that they should choose out of the multitude? There's a lot of talented people in the world.
Yeah.
So, being a student first and really honing that craft showed that exceptional behavior that led him to the next level. And then the last thing I wanted to highlight was, he said a lot of times when people say success changes you, it's really just that you changed yourself for success. And that can go either way. Sometimes people change themselves for the negative to get to the success that they want. And some people change for the positive. We're all about implementing positive systems, things that are going to better you and get you to where you need to go. Obviously, for him, he decided to implement things that were going to make him better and exceptional, and that enabled him to be ready for the success that he's experiencing now. So those are just a few highlights from the book that I've gotten thus far. As I said, I'm not fully done with it. I know that 40 pages doesn't sound like a lot, but people can say a lot in 40 pages. So, I might revisit it, but those are a couple of things. That were notable to me in the book. It's been, it's a good time. In all honesty, it's just a really easy read. Like, it's a funny book. You get inspired. You also get laughs. And I will say, if you feel like you know him, because he's pretty open about his life. Like, he shares life stories all the time. If you're like, oh, I've heard all these stories, let me tell you something. There are stories in that book that you ain't never heard, and you probably will never hear unless you read that book.
Oh, wow.
So, yep, that's this week's Take Out the Trash. If you got I don't think it's at the library, but you can get it off Amazon or anywhere like that, and maybe it's at the library. You can check. So, we'll see y'all in the main discussion.
Classes in session.
This episode is for anyone that feels like they're in a season that doesn't make any sense.
When life hits you in a way that changes everything and you don't know what to do next.
That crossroad moment where everything feels uncertain. Because what you choose here will shape who you become. So we have talked about, supporting one another, grieving. We've had just all kinds of conversations about being there for people, letting them have to make choices and sometimes deal with the consequences. And today we wanted to discuss seasons in the sense of sometimes they can last a long time and they can be intense during that time. We like to call it the valley. You feel like you're in the valley. Maybe you feel alone, isolated, sometimes forgotten, if I can be honest.
Like
Yeah, you can feel like that. And you might have a couple of choices here with that. You can go with your feelings and decide to lean into, I've been forgotten. God has left me out here by myself. Or you can go with what God is telling you to do and trusting that even though maybe that next choice doesn't make any sense to you, it's going to get you closer to where you essentially need to be. And that's not easy because feelings, they be real. Like, you be like, nah, dog, I feel alone.
Yeah.
It be loud too.
Yeah, when you're in that hard season and it just seems like nothing's working and you're stuck and you can't get out, your feelings, and you're like, man, I tried everything, and why can't I, seem to be successful? Why can't I get out of here? Why can't I accomplish my dreams? You want to compare and all that, and those feelings are strong. They can be very strong and very loud. That pain is loud.
It's real. It feels real in the moment, right? But we have talked about how like feelings aren't facts, and you have to speak the truth to yourself. You know, and sometimes you can be looking to your friends for guidance. Sometimes, you know, you have wise counsel and you feel like they've helped you before, and maybe the Lord is telling them something that he ain't told you. You leaning in it, and you know, you can decide to, even sometimes outside of listening to yourself, listen to other individuals who are giving you what feels like right advice at the time.
That time where you're in that valley of decision, where you're in that hard place and your feelings are loud, it's a vulnerable place to be.
It is. It definitely is.
You're just maybe you've endured some kind of trauma, maybe you've endured some kind of betrayal, whatever the case is. Why it's a hard place for you or a hard season for you, that's a vulnerable place to be. And honestly, the most dangerous thing about like a season like that is your future is often influenced by the people that have access to you at that time.
Yeah, that's true. That is very... That's why we're here on this podcast, because the people you surround yourself with matter.
Yeah.
That is so true. Oh my goodness. I think it's by no happenstance though, right? Like it's like, I mean, if we're thinking about it from a basic standpoint, if things are going good, you're not necessarily vulnerable.
Right. You're
Like,
most vulnerable
when you down bad.
when you things are going bad.
When things are going,
You know, it's like,
because you're looking for answers.
Yes, you are searching for answers.
Searching for something, a solution, a clue. Can I get the next puzzle piece? What is going on?
It's like if you don't have any money and you broken somebody, like, listen, if you come with me, we can go hit yada yada, and we can make some shake. And you would have never done that before.
Never.
But you start to think, carry the 2, add the 1. My rent is due on the 1st.
No, carry the 2, add the 1. My rent was due on the 1st. It's the 2nd now. Tomorrow's the 3rd.
And I gotta think about this.
And then on the 3rd, there is a tax that they're gonna give me.
You know what I'm saying?
Now what am I supposed to do?
Right. So when you're in a tough space, you know, or, you know, maybe your relationship isn't going well, and now it makes you vulnerable to different opportunities that weren't there before, or you never paid attention to it before.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's when it's hard. When you're in them hard seasons and those options are there, those friendships become hugely important. Those influences, if I was you, I would just, if it was me,
I would just curse God.
I would just forget about her and move on. And it's like, no, that's not what I want to do. Or, you know, if I was you, I would just they owe you anyway, just take your money. It's like, if I was you, I would just make me a fake business and give me a PPP loan. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really matters who's around you in those hard seasons, because you are way more vulnerable to,
and you're more willing to listen to it.
Yeah.
Like when it's there. And so it is definitely a tactic of the enemy to like infiltrate you with, you know, options that are not from God at that moment.
For real.
Because when what Tamala Man said, options of you. I'm trying to pray, but where are you?
I've been calling you. You're not answering.
I'm
I'm gonna take this into my own hands. That's really where we are. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, I'm finna just start doing my own thing. And I'm not saying that's what you want to do, but I'm saying it's
Right.
something that you consider and that cross your mind. And a lot of times, sometimes the advice don't even have to be necessarily bad. It's just not what God wants you to do in that moment. You understand what I'm saying?
And you don't even have to be in a place necessarily where you feel like internally you're giving up on what God is telling you. You might just be tired.
Man,
And
tired.
and
I want to slap you. Tired will make you want to do things
that you normally
that
would
you
not have
normally
done.
would not have done. You be like, yeah, whatever, take what you want. I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? Like, people ask you for stuff when you tired.
I don't know about y'all, but I have asked my parents for things
When they're tight
purposefully.
on purpose. Wait till they almost sleep. And
Okay.
you might get what you want. They don't have it.
Let me get that $5 for school tomorrow. Just go in the person, get it. Okay, thank you.
I got a field trip. Can you sign this paper? Can you sign my note from my teacher?
Yeah, and that's why you have to like we talk a lot about your circle mattering and the people that you surround yourself with who matters, which is very true. But you as an individual also have to learn how to, endure.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
have the resilience and the capacity to go through tough seasons when you feel like you're alone, doing it alone.
Yeah. And like, we have all been there. Like, have you ever been through a tough situation and someone gave you advice? It felt good in the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, it felt like, that might could work.
But you know what? Any solution when you feel like solutions aren't around may feel good.
You be like, man, that might could work. But later you realize that would have had you headed in the wrong direction. Mm-hmm. And I remember I was talking to somebody I really respect, and they had a great idea, and I was like, yeah, man, that'd be a great idea. And I was like, oh, that worked for them. I'm gonna try that. Do you know that same day I had a dream that very night, and basically was like, if you do that, it's gonna crumble. And I was like, well, golly. Golly.
I'm not laughing.
I sound like Boosie. Golly. But here's the thing. What could work for them don't mean it's for you.
Don't mean it's for you.
And people mean well. That was a well-meaning person that loved me and was just giving me what they thought could be helpful to me. But that doesn't mean that's what God wants for you to do at that time. And so, that's why when we are in those hard seasons that God is trying to teach us something, and it's like it feels isolated, it feels like nothing's working for us. We have to be intentional about using our discernment, and we have to ask God, like, okay, God, this is a great idea. It seems like it could work. Is this what you want me to do?
Right.
And He will tell you straight up. No, that's not what I want for you right now. I'm trying to teach you something. Here's the thing. I feel it. I feel it. Here's the thing. Maybe you are a pioneer. Maybe what God wants to do in you is like Kev on stage. Like Kev on stage. Maybe nobody has really done it the way that
and
God's
when I
gonna
tell
use
you
to
the
do
endurance he talks about, not necessarily using that term, but you can see it's like you enduring.
Yeah.
a lot.
And I know people probably had so much advice from him as to say, hey, bro, the only way you're going to make it in this business is if you do it like X, Y, Z.
And listen to this. Let me just tell you really quickly. One of the stories he tells in the book is about how he gets a job with Boeing. And Boeing in Seattle, or Boeing for anyone at the time, is like, you done made it. You done set up, you and your spouse making 6 figures.
Nice.
Y'all are set for life. You got these 2 kids now. They in private school. Y'all owning a home. Y'all taking vacations. Your parents, my parents happy. Y'all are satisfied. And he had a decision to make. Am I going to stay here? Am I going to be like, okay, this is enough because my parents, they said as long as you make a way for your family, everything's good? Or am I going to, seek God and know what he put on the inside of me, this desire and this fervor that doesn't go away? I'm going to have to make some tough decisions and leave a job that literally, he said, people don't leave Boeing. He said people was like they're 87, still working. They don't leave that job. They off. Yeah. Because it was so cushiony and easy and good safe. Money and safe. So I'm taking my wife with me. Right. Because my wife worked there too. Wow. They both was working at Boeing. Wow. I'm taking my wife and kids, and we're moving across the country. Wow. Because I believe what God told me is true. Wow. And it didn't happen overnight. It was years and years and years of them taking their kids out of private school and then having to put them in public school and them coming home like, can we move back to Seattle? Because we in California now and they look like they're going to beat me up. Like, I don't like this. You know what I'm saying? But still having to endure and believe that what I'm doing is God's will and it's going to lead to God's best for my life.
Man. Because sometimes, like, what the people, I'm sure his parents, what they were saying was like, that makes sense. Love. They meant well. Yeah. And they were trying to help, but it wasn't what God called them to do, So,
and you may be the one in your family that it's gonna look like, what are you doing over there?
You a certified fool. Get the stamp out and stamp your forehead.
Where is your jester hat?
Use a whole dummy. What they used to say on San Francisco, Lamont, you big dummy.
You big dummy.
Yeah, you look like a fool, and that's how trusting God often looks. I feel it. I feel it coming on me. In that season of endurance, it ain't just the isolation. It ain't just the, things God put you on the backside of the mountain. It's dark out there. There's different kind of animals. It is different.
You hearing all kinds of noises.
It is the mockery. It is looking like a fool. With your pants on the ground. Looking like a fool to people that you love and respect. Respect and you love. And God has to allow them to see you in that light, because God has to ask you, are you doing it for them? Or are you doing it for me?
Who are you doing? Who's the applause? Are you doing it for the applause of people or my applause?
My eyes twitching. That's so good, make my eye twitch. Because who's God in your life? Your parents or the people you love and you respect? Or is it me? And sometimes God makes you calls you to make decisions that test the people around you. That they can either that they start going to God about you like, Lord, you look,
what is going on? Why is she making these?
So it requires discernment on their part too. Like, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, and what they choose to do with you in that season can determine how they are able to be a part of your life.
Access they'll have
in the next
season.
Y'all don't hear me. Y'all don't. Where my ukulele? Y'all don't hear me. Y'all not hearing me, because they have to see you like that. Yeah. They have to, they had to see Jesus embarrassed, on the, they had to see him like that.
It has to be a situation.
Listen.
Right.
Listen.
That just blessed me, because they had to see him in the light of, there is no way he's still alive.
No way.
Like none whatsoever to be like, it's finished, it's done.
It's done. It's over with. But that was a test for them because he had already told them, hey, they're going to tear this body down in 3 days. It's going to rise up. He said, the Son of Man must be delivered into this. Like, this is what I'm called to do. He told Peter, he said, get them behind me, Satan.
See?
Like, this is what I was
And
born
Peter
to do.
loved him. Peter really, really loved him.
Every one of them disciples got tested through Jesus's suffering, his suffering season.
Even Timothy said, I hear what you're saying, but until I see
Thomas.
Thomas said,
Doubting Thomas.
I got to see the hand. I need to see the pierce. I got to see it with my own eyes to believe this.
Sometimes your season be so jacked up, it don't be hardly nobody left. By the time God raised you back up, it just be you. Maybe your mama. Maybe if your mama. Maybe a cousin or one friend. 2 friends max.
You be like, wow.
Everybody deserted me. Peter like, God, but Jesus, I would never. He said, oh yes, before the crow cocks 3 times.
3 times.
You gonna be gone. He's like, never. I would never. Yes,
But
Mr.
you know
I would
what?
never. You gonna be gone.
Because your season sometimes is also to show the response of others around you.
Yes, absolutely. And it gotta be that way, because if you can't endure this, you surely cannot endure what's to come. You surely cannot. You surely cannot. And so even though Jesus had to endure the cross and he was tested, when your friends go through those cross situations, you are also tested. And how you handle it. And so I just like we said, it just puts you in a vulnerable place because you are having to endure something incredibly hard. And so that's why you need discernment at that time, especially because not every voice that comforts you is helping you. Like Peter was really trying to be, he was sincere. He was just sincerely wrong.
That's the
some
truth.
people mean
For
well.
real. For
they
real.
really mean well. Your parents, like they mean well. I'm sure Kev on stage, like you said, that it was a lot of people in his life, family that meant well, but they're just not going to understand or know what God is calling for you to do. And you just might be the first one to ever do it that way. And you have to go with God. The way he take you might not be the way he's taking them. And anything they've ever been exposed to in that way. And so even though they want to help you, they want to be supportive, they just don't know. And so that's why you have to take it all back to God. Like, God, is this what you want me to do? And he might say no. He might say, they mean well, but no, just keep following me.
I mean, the truth of the matter is, we just recently had a conversation about wanting to save the people that we love from having to go through tough things or consequences of their own actions. And it's similarly the same when we want to give advice based on what we see to, steer people into the right direction.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's coming from a loving place, but it's like you really have to use your discernment, because the intent can be pure, but the path it takes you on could just completely derail you.
Oh my God. So good. So good. It's like you took the words out of my brain. I had that thought and it just like, it went into your head so that you can say it.
This is 20 years of friendship.
I mean, synergy. Because like that one decision, like, could change everything for your life. And I I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. It's just really coming right now in this episode. Like, we don't take it serious enough. We
don't
always
take it serious enough.
we feel like God owes us another chance. Like, oh, if I miss if I miss this train, it's another train coming in 15 minutes. Maybe that's the last train.
that's the last
You ever
train.
been in the airport and you almost missed your flight and you know that's the last flight of the night? You can't just be willy-nillying about your destiny, especially like at a time right now. There's no guarantee you're gonna have another chance. So while you playing with people and you just listening to everybody and just like, oh, I'll just have another chance, I'll get another opportunity, if it ain't this person, it's the next person. Who's to say God owes you another chance? He don't have to. If you miss it, maybe you just might miss it.
Yikes.
And we don't like to talk like that. We don't like to feel like, oh, it's going to be okay. It's all going to work out. Maybe not. Maybe not. If I am not in God, the Bible says all things work together for the good to them that love God, to those who are called according to his purpose. You got to be in his purpose and he said, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. Like when you love God, you got to be up in God. You don't get to just like do you and look to God to fix all your mistakes. Sometimes he's trying to help you avoid a situation and say, hey, don't go that way. If you go that way, you don't know. That's 10 years of HE double hockey sticks that you finna endure, but you didn't know that. And you just casually walking around down that road like you're gonna get another chance. Maybe not. Maybe you will, but 10 years later. So it's just, I know that's hard to hear and like we don't like to think like that, but that's the truth. Some people, older people will tell you, man, the people will tell you, man, if I knew then
what I know now,
I would have handled that totally different. It's a lot of people that left relationships, left their marriages, you know what I'm saying? And only to figure out the grass was not greener on the other side. And they lost out or they left a place, a purpose. God sent them somewhere to learn and to grow, and they quit. And it's like, I never told you to quit. You did that because you got distracted and you got derailed or you thought you
had other options.
Bruh, it matters who's in your ear, especially in those places of vulnerability that convince you like, yeah, you good. It'll be cool. Like, it'll all work out. And like, you just need to do you right now. And it's like, no, no, that's not what you need to do. And if you listen to them, there's a verse in Proverbs and it talks about having, friends that lead you down the wrong path. It's like, hey, let's go rob these people and we can get this money real quick. And basically it talks about how that will lead to like their destruction. And so we see that on the movie Juice. Like, you have this person that's like, he's so cool. He seems like the man. He seems like the guy. Only for following him will lead you to your demise. So it's just like, we gotta move different.
I mean, as tough of a pill as it may feel like to swallow, that's the truth of the matter.
Yeah.
The reality is, yes, he is the God of a second chance, but that doesn't mean he has to give it to you.
He don't owe you that.
Sometimes you just miss the window of opportunity.
I'm finna slap you. It's a window. Like, I have missed a window before because of my own insecurity and fear and just thinking it wasn't a big deal. Although God had been talking to me, I didn't perceive him because I wasn't locked in and I didn't understand that God was trying to show me that he was trying to help me.
Yeah. And
I was just like, lackadaisical in a way about it.
And we can be so
careless, so apathetic about, it'll work out and I'll get another opportunity and it'll be cool. Maybe not. Maybe you just missed that chance. And maybe that's the thing that has to whoop your butt to get you in the future to show up a different way. And it's like, dang, it didn't have to take that. But sometimes it do have to take that for you to learn your lesson. But what I'm trying to do is, and what we're trying to do is get over to you that who you are listen to and what you listen to in your season of hardship and when you're trying to endure and God is testing you, like that is a game changer, and that might be the test that determines where you go for the next 10 to 15 years, and you don't know.
Wow.
God is not about to say you finna have a test and it's gonna be the next 10 to 15 years. He just be prepping you, and when the test come, he quiet, he gonna see what you're gonna do. And it's just like he's not being a bad father, but if you can't even pass the test, how you gonna survive at the next level? You're not gonna make it. It's like when I'm a teacher by trade, and it's like, some teachers pass the kids on to the next grade, not because they're prepared, not because they understand the information, but because, for whatever reason, they just pass them up there. And the kid struggles the whole next grade.
Yeah.
Why? Because they never learned in the previous grade. They never mastered the concepts that it took to build. Like, education is building.
Builds upon itself.
It builds upon the skills. And if you never master the skill, if you don't know how to stand on your own 2 feet at this level, the only thing that's different on the next level is more pressure. More pressure, more people eyes on you, more criticism. If you can't handle it here, how in the world? No, for real. Like, how do you expect to survive at the next? You won't. And so the tests are meant to determine, are you even ready? Can you even handle it? I don't want to send you up there and you just die. You know what I'm saying? You just are destroyed because you're not equipped. So it's like, I wanted her to go. She's not ready. I got to send her back a grade. She got to go and do it all over again. And trust me, baby girl, baby boy. You don't want to do that, baby girl. You don't want to do that. And you don't want to do that. But I didn't understand. I didn't take it serious enough. I heard, you ever hear God, but you be like, oh yeah, I'm just going to still do me.
Yeah.
You
absolutely.
You be thinking you going to get another chance. And maybe you're not. Maybe you just got to learn that lesson. Maybe you got to lose out on that. Maybe you got to.
Which is very real. It's very real. And gut-wrenching. Honestly. Like, and I think too, sometimes, it's like you just said, maybe you got to take it back. Maybe, this test of to see where you are could also be to see who you're trying to take with you. Mm-hmm. Like, are these people who, you have a good time with and they're with you in the natural, but do they have your back in the spirit? Because again, if you think you fighting now.
Oh, baby. Next level. New devil.
Next level.
New devils.
You're going to need people who going to have your back.
Who got it. Who got the goods? Who got the juice? You know what I'm saying? That really got the juice.
A lot of juice references.
You know what I'm saying?
You got the juice now.
You got it. Listen. So the influence of these friendships during hardship, it is not small. Like, it can literally shape your future. Yeah. One messed up friend at the wrong time when you're vulnerable could just lead you down the wrong path. And so I just really hope that y'all understand that, you gotta take this more seriously. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, enduring through these. Israel did not go to the promised land 4 years.
Y'all.
They did not see it. They did not see it. The kids saw it. But they did not see it.
The people he originally rescued, that group, they didn't see it.
Out of here. Like, God will give you a chance, but you can say no.
And let me just say this. Ooh,
you feel it, don't you? You feel it?
Because you might not say no with your mouth. But your actions are saying no.
My.
He gave you. He told you to do something. You dragging your feet. You didn't do it.
Oh, you said it. Dragging your feet. Like window of opportunity. You dragging your feet. You gonna miss the window. That's a no. Delayed obedience, disobedience. You told them no.
So now I'm gonna find somebody else.
Lord, don't test me on this.
Please don't get somebody else to do it.
Bruh, listen. I'm telling y'all. Please.
It's for real though. And
window of opportunity. Window of opportunity. Window of opportunity. You only like it's not forever. Mm-hmm. It's not forever. Like he give you a chance.
And nothing really is when you think about it. When you get offered a job, you can't go back. You can't be like, okay, 2 months go by. All right, I'm ready
for y'all.
We fill the position.
And sometimes you will never feel ready, yo.
Sometimes. Most times.
You will never feel ready. Let me tell you something. You will never feel ready. That ready is a myth. It is a farce.
It really is. You can prepare and you
will never feel ready.
Yeah.
You will never feel ready. And ready is not a feeling.
You're going to always feel like I could be more prepared.
Yes.
I could do more.
But you know why? God doesn't even allow you to get to that place because then you don't need him. You're going to depend on your own strength. And that is not what he wants. He wants you to lean and depend on him. Yep. The Bible says lean not to your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge him. Yeah. He'll direct your path. He doesn't want you to be ready. Like, He determines if you're ready, and if he's giving you the instruction, then you're ready in his eyes. My God, you're ready. So you're going to have to leap before you're ready. You're going to have to jump on out there. You're going to have to follow God, and that junk be scary, yo. It can feel so destabilizing, but you got to trust God. You got to trust God in this situation. You cannot miss your window trying to get ready for it. It's too late. It's too late. The opportunity has come and you got to show up with what you got and what you learn. And trust me, if God is saying you're ready, he been preparing you for it the whole time. Whether you knew it or not, he was preparing you the whole time. It's kind of like Karate Kid. It's like you didn't think you were being prepared by painting that garage and waxing the car, but he knew how he was getting you ready. You know what I'm saying? And so God uses certain situations to get us ready. And for us, we like, well, that don't have nothing to do with that. Yes, it does. He's so good. He's such a good father. He's all knowing. And he knows what's in us. Like our potential and what he put in us. The Bible says we have these treasures in earthen vessels. God know what he put in you. Just because you don't understand it fully, you don't see it fully. He knows what's in there. And when he says, hey, do X, Y, Z, launch that business, I'm telling you can do it. And you decide to sit on your hands. You don't know it was a government contract opportunity that would fund your business, but because you didn't do the business plan, you didn't feel ready. You missed the window of opportunity. It was only for a short time.
You know, outside of being honest with yourself about, am I doing what God told me to do? Am I adhering to his last set of instructions while I'm waiting for the next? Another thing that you really have to be honest with yourself about is the friends that you're surrounding yourself with during this season of endurance, during this valley of decisions that you might find yourself in. Are they helping you think clearly? Are they pulling you towards God, or are they pulling you into deeper confusion? Like, are you talking to them feeling like, well, I thought I heard God say this, but maybe I should be thinking about doing this, because the truth is everyone around you is influencing you in some way.
Yeah. And just like rest brings revelation. When we rest, it gives us an opportunity to get clarity and to get a download from God that he might have already been trying to tell us. But because we're so busy trying to fix our situation, we don't receive it.
Yeah.
So rest really does bring revelation. So when you're in a season of trying to endure some hard things, you do have to rest. And if God is taking away things from you and kind of forcing you to rest,
Forcing you to lay down. He maketh me lay down.
maketh me lie down in green pastures. Sometimes you gotta make the sheep lie down. Like you're doing too much, it's time for you to lie down. Because you don't know what's coming in the future. Like you don't know what he's trying to prepare you for. So
The main thing, obviously, you want to do during this season is make sure that you are letting yourself so that your spirit is in alignment with God, that you're hearing him clearly. You know, that may be rest. He may be stripping things from you. He may be putting you in a place where you feel, you know, like you've been isolated. Maybe bombard you with ideas, maybe things and things to do. We just want to make it a point to understand that enduring well really means leaning on God in the long grand scheme of it all, because you really can't carry it on your own. Like we said earlier, we do talk a lot about your circles, and being able to get the support that you need from them in hard seasons and when you're going through things. Sometimes that circle is going to be God and God alone, you know. But we do feel like he's going to give you people, you know. I can't speak for everybody, but you know, I'm like at least one. I'm thinking about the stories that I've seen in the Bible.
At least
one. Yeah. So, you know, just be encouraged. And yeah, I'm gonna give you the homework assignment. Did you have anything else you wanted to give people? You poured a lot out today. Well, if this episode spoke to you, then definitely send it to someone going through a hard season, who needs some encouragement, who needs a word to know that we've been made endure for a night before it comes in the morning. This homework assignment for this week is going to be an endurance practice, which is going to start with your self-talk. So, you know, what you want to do here is you want to write down the default negative thought that you may have sometimes, like, I can't handle this. You want to then rewrite it into something that is true. And this is not going to be like fake positivity or anything like that. Like, oh, the world is rainbows. No, this is hard, but I can blank, right? So this could look like my default thought would be like, this is hard. I'm alone. I feel a burden that I feel like I can't carry. Rewriting it to the truth is that this is uncomfortable and hard for me to bear, but with God, I don't have to make a perfect step. I just have to trust my steps are ordered. And that's the homework for this week, y'all. So, until the next class.
Peace.